Alright students, today we're going to look at the Access database tool. Access is a lot like Excel, but it has a lot of other features and just handles different tasks than Excel does. So to start learning about Access, first we're going to go into Excel. Here I've made some tables. I've made an example student table, and here are each columns that describe the students. So you have first name, last name, the number of credits that they have, the major in school, and the sport that they play. And then each of these tables has a unique identifier, which is called a primary key. The primary key is one of the columns in the table that uniquely identifies a certain student. So for instance, Kitty Pride, her unique identifier, which in this case is the student ID, is 446764. Databases store these keys and look up information about students based on these keys, and a lot of times they're going to be numbers. So let's look at another table. This is a faculty table, and the faculty each have a faculty ID. Each of them has a department they teach in, they have a start date at the university, and they also have a first name and a last name. Here's the classrooms table, and each classroom has a certain ID. It has a building it's in, and it has a room number. So you can't really sort by building. You can't really make a unique identifier by building because there are multiple rooms in Miege, so Miege isn't unique. Same thing with room number. There are multiple room 212s, one in Miege and one in Xavier. So you can't really sort by room number. That's why we have to insert a classroom ID as a unique identifier. And each of these has a capacity, and then it has a column which says if there are technology in the room. In this case, I did technology such as a overhead projector. Here are some courses, and same thing, they have a unique identifier called a course ID. They have the number of credits, they have the semester that they were offered, but then they have the classroom that they're in and the faculty that teach them. Notice that these two columns are marked blue. Well, that's because these two refer back to the previous tables that we've already done. So we'll look at a few examples of this later, but these are called foreign keys. And these keys relate this table, the course table, to previous tables that have already been covered. The assignments table is also related to the course it's offered in, and then the student ID of the student who took the assignment. Now, each of these tables are not complete by any means. They're just small excerpts of the information you can expect to find in a database. Access is used to manage databases. Here I modeled it in Excel because we just covered Excel and it's probably easier to understand. I'm going to demonstrate what this looks like in Access after I'm sure that you understand what's going on. So let's look at how this is all laid out. Here are these 5 tables. Now let's look at a particular assignment. This assignment has an assignment ID. It's an assignment, not an exam. There were 10 points possible. It was offered in the course denoted by 200. It was taken by the student with this certain ID, and they received 8 points out of 10. Well, now to be able to make sense of this, these numbers don't really tell us much right off the bat, but we follow the student ID column to the student ID column on the student table, and we look up what student this matches to. So this would match to Tony Stark, and he has 160 credits, and his major is IT. So we can know that Tony Stark in this course got a 8 out of 10 on this particular assignment. Now, if we wanted to find more information about the course, we could follow it down here by the course ID and see that this course is offered in IT. So Tony Stark is an IT major. It makes sense that he's taking an IT course. It's offered in Miege, and as you can see, this table also has 2 foreign keys. So classroom ID, we would look it up by 42 and see it's offered in Miege 21, and it does have technology in the room. And the faculty ID is 162. So we come down here and see John Connor teaches this IT course. And he's been teaching at the university for 9 years now. So he's probably tenured. He's doing pretty well at the university. But he teaches this course, and he gave this assignment, and he recorded that Tony Stark got a 8 out of 10 on this assignment. This is how databases are structured. You break apart information so that you don't have redundant information about certain students. For instance, here the courses and students were broken apart from the course ID. You don't really need to know what the major is of students who are taking this certain assignment. You just want to know how they performed on it and what course it was offered in and which student completed this specific assignment. Here's another example of an exam that was given in a class, and this particular student got 100 out of 100. The student was Charles Xavier, and the course, if we look down here, was mathematics, and the room number, if we match 17 from here to here, was Miege, and the faculty ID that taught it was Harry Seldon. So this is just basic database stuff, but it's important to know when you're dealing with Access that everything's divided into a table, that tables each have unique keys, and that to relate to other tables, they have foreign keys, which are used to relate one table to another so that you can pull information about a class, a classroom, a student, or a professor out. Now let's go ahead and open this up in Access. So I've already imported all of these tables into Access. So I'm going to go ahead and open all of them. And just like in Excel, where I separated them by tabs, you can see that they are separated by tabs at the top rather than the bottom. You might also notice that a few of them have plus signs. I've related the tables in the same way that they're related in this diagram in Access. So when we open up this course, we see that there are 2 assignments that are linked to this course with 2 separate student IDs, and one student got a 10 out of 10 where another student got a 9 out of 10. Let me go ahead and display the relationships. So this is just another way to show this information right here. The assignment table has a primary key, which is denoted by this little icon of assignment ID. The course ID links the assignment to a course. In a course, the primary key is course ID, and it has an ID, a classroom ID, and a faculty ID that link the course to the classroom that it's in and the faculty that teach it. The assignments has a student ID that links it to which student took it. So in order to figure out what courses a student's in, you would just look at all of their assignments that are linked to them and what courses those assignments are linked to. That would be the easiest way, and this outline that you could figure out what courses each student was in. Not all databases are laid out the same way. Some have multiple connections, but this is a very simple database, a very simple example of the benefits of databases. All right, and that's the basic of database design. We're going to get into how to import these and how to move around and access in the next video.